Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches a todos. Nos encontramos aquí un mes más para conocer mejor la labor de las hijas de Jesús en algún punto concreto del planeta. La Madre Cándida, como todos sabéis, soñaba con ir al fin del mundo en busca de almas y yo creo que estaría súper contenta de ver que hoy las hijas de Jesús están en 4 continentes y en 17 países. Hoy, desde España, viajamos hasta un país asiático enorme, formado por más de 7.000 islas y situado en mitad del Océano Pacífico, Filipinas. Allí se encuentra Cathy Cheong, Cathy, una hija de Jesús filipina, que antes vivía en Mater Dei, que es la casa provincial de Índico Pacífico, y trabajaba como secretaria provincial. Pero desde hace 6 meses, Cathy vive en la casa Parañaque, que se pertenece a la comunidad de Metro Manila. Ahora su labor también ha cambiado de rumbo y se centra en el acompañamiento espiritual, en ejercicios espirituales y además ofrece formación a profesores en la Facultad de Manresa School. Pero nadie mejor que ella misma para hablarnos sobre su misión, sobre la labor importantísima de las hijas de Jesús en Filipinas y también sobre la labor de las hijas de Jesús en el resto de la provincia Índico Pacífico, porque Japón y Bangladesh también pertenecen a esta provincia. Así que nada, Cathy, buenos días, ¿qué tal?
Buenos días, buenas noches.
Buenas noches en Filipinas, buenos días en España. ¿Cómo estás?
Fine, very good. ¿Y tú?
Yo estoy bien, también, muchas gracias. Bueno, ¿qué te parece si empezamos esta entrevista con una presentación, que nos cuentes un poco quién eres tú, cuáles son tus orígenes, tu contexto familiar, y así te conocemos todos un poco?
Okay. I am from the south of the Philippines, in the island of Mindanao. My grandfather was from China, but he came to the Philippines and I am a 3rd generation Filipino-Chinese. But nobody of my family lives in Mindanao anymore. My parents are here in Manila with my brother, and another brother and 2 sisters live abroad.
¿Cómo conociste a las hijas de Jesús?
Actually, by accident. In 1984, I think, I was going on retreat to look for my life's direction. And I happened to see that there is a Manresa retreat house near where I lived. So I went there. And when I entered its doors, I felt at home. The rest is history. That was the beginning of my knowing the hijas de Jesús.
¿Y nos podrías contar un poco de esa historia? ¿Cómo fue tu historia dentro de la congregación? ¿Cómo entraste? ¿Cómo fue todo?
I was working in an insurance company as a financial analyst. But there was always a disquiet in my heart because ultimately I felt I wanted to give my life to the Lord. I just did not know to which congregation. I did not know the hijas de Jesús, but I always had a great love for Saint Ignatius. When I first stepped into the lobby of Manresa Retreat House, there is this big cloth with a picture of Las Torta. And the feeling of being at home has never left me. Sister Jesusa Belosilio, who is now in heaven, gave me the retreat, and ultimately I slowly came to know the hijas de Jesús. I left my work. I left my plans, all the plans that I had, and started this journey with which is now my religious family.
Así que entraste en la congregación, dejaste todo por seguir al Señor, que era lo que en realidad tú querías. Y una vez dentro de la congregación, ¿cuáles fueron tus pasos? ¿Qué has ido haciendo durante toda esta trayectoria?
Well, like any hija de Jesús, we pass through initial formation, right? Postulancy, the novitiate, the juniorate. All of these were in houses in Metro Manila. The first 2 were in Quezon City, the juniorate. We moved on to Manila, but we studied at the Jesuit School of Theology. After that, like most of the hijas de Jesús in the Philippines, we got assigned to schools. So I taught for close to 10 years in different schools, in different centers. I spent a lot of time in Cebu. But in 1999, I started giving the spiritual exercises. First, it was 3-day retreats, and then 5 days retreat. And then my work started changing. So instead of giving classes, it became accompaniment and retreat work. And this got to be more and more. I was also assigned to Taiwan for 3 years, but I couldn't stand the cold. I'm very afraid of the cold. I don't have good bones, so I came back. And the retreat work flourished, but in 2012, I was asked to serve as the provincial secretary. I have been under 3 provincials: Georgita Ormillosa, Telma Barbarona, and Emelinda Falsis. My 3 provincials were very good because even if I had a lot of work, they allowed me to continue retreat giving. In 2019, I left my work as provincial secretary, spent 1 year in Mater Dei, giving retreats. And 6 months ago, they brought me to Parañaque, so I have added work, which is the formation of the faculty and staff. I'm also asked to help out in discerning the vocations of seminarians. I sometimes, before the pandemic, would go to the island of Iloilo to have sessions with seminarians.
O sea, que ahora mismo estás centrada en ejercicios espirituales, en acompañamiento espiritual y en la formación en Manresa School. Pero, yeah. ¿Qué nos puedes contar de la misión del resto de hijas de Jesús en Filipinas?
Our apostolate, predominantly in the Philippines, is schools. We have, I think, 7. And most of the sisters are in school work. In our own schools, they collaborate in other schools. One teaches in a university. We have a retreat house. I think the congregation has 2 retreat houses. One of them is in the Philippines. So there are sisters who do a lot of accompaniment work, give retreats, do community development, and of course, sisters who take care of the sick and the elderly because we have an infirmary.
Japón y Bangladesh también forman parte de vuestra provincia, ¿verdad?
Yes, I'll give an overview as far as I know. Well, in Bangladesh, we have 2 presences. We are in Mymensingh, the seat of the Diocese of Mymensingh, and the sisters collaborate in the Social Formation Center. They are part of the pastoral team, and one takes charge of the archives and the library. And then we have our hostel in Utrail. We have the Saint Candida Hostel, and the sisters also coordinate or manage the other hostel of the parish, which is the Saint Teresa Hostel. That's Bangladesh, no? They visit villages, give communion to the sick. Japan's apostolic work is very diversified. We have only 2 houses in Japan, that's Tokyo and Hayama. A lot of elderly sisters. So we have 2 sisters that work with migrants. One works in collaboration with the St. Ignatius Parish and the other in the International Catholic Center, I believe. My sisters will forgive me if I make a mistake. No? Another collaborates in formation of groups in parishes, does counseling, and I think has some lectures about truth and life in a Catholic center. The sisters are also, well, some of them involved in our kindergarten, the Akeno Hoshi. And then there's always pastoral accompaniment, Bible sessions, and some take care of the sick and the elderly.
Cathy, estamos ahora en plena celebración del año jubilar. ¿Cómo habéis vivido este año en Filipinas?
The pandemic has been very bad in the Philippines. So we cannot really have face-to-face celebrations. But we have been very faithful in praying over, living out the fichas. We do have a lot of virtual encounters, sharing, celebrations, and meetings are mostly virtual because there were many lockdowns all the way until August. But we do the best we can. Filipinos love to celebrate. So it's a sacrifice for us that we cannot really gather together this time.
¿Y cómo estáis preparando el final? Porque ya estamos en plena recta final.
Yes.
¿Cómo lo estáis preparando allí?
On December 7, on December 7, I think we will have a very big virtual gathering of the province and the family of Mother Candida here in the Philippines. We are very excited about it. If the times had been ordinary, you can imagine hijas de Jesús meeting elsewhere. But this time, it's a virtual encounter. On December 8, each center has planned activities. But that's the best we can do at this time.
¿Y los laicos de la familia Madre Cándida, cómo están presentes?
They join us almost in every virtual activity of the province. We do not have a big organized group of the family of Mother Candida. We have a group called Family of Mother Candida. They're really a group of good friends of the congregation, some doctors, retired doctors, some teachers. They gather, they share. They're mostly shepherded by Georgita or Miliosa, and I come in to give them prayer and sharing sessions. They're very active. But in all our schools, there have been many lay people, both teachers and others personnel, who just vibrate with the spirit of Mother Candida. There's a deep love and devotion for Mother Candida. So any virtual encounter we have, you'll see lots of lay people taking part. We don't know how this will evolve. Maybe the groups will be more organized in the future. At the moment, we are seeing a birthing. Something is being born in the charismatic family.
Cathy, tú como hija de Jesús de la provincia Índico Pacífico, ¿qué mensaje te gustaría dar a la congregación en estas fechas tan importantes para todos, en pleno aniversario? ¿Qué mensaje nos das?
From the time of Mother Foundress, our apostolates have varied, diversified, and we tried to respond to the needs of the times. And I am sure the apostolates will continue to evolve with the coming needs, the needs that present itself. But for me, my dream has been always the basic dream, the essentials. When Father Erans told us, the very first hijas de Jesús, to be a congregation of union, of love, of true and fruitful apostolate. Anything else can change, but this has to remain.
Entonces, para cerrar esta entrevista, ¿cuál sería tu frase? ¿Con qué frase cerrarías este encuentro?
My favorite phrase always, the phrase that Mother Foundress uses in her letters. May the most pure Virgin shelter us beneath her mantle. Because in this 150 years and the many years that the congregation will continue to live, we have always been under the protection of our beloved Mother. We feel it in good times, in bad times, in turbulent times, in peaceful times. We have always been shielded beneath her mantle.
Cathy, pues muchísimas gracias porque la verdad ha sido un regalazo poder compartir contigo este ratito y poder aprender tanto de ti, de las hijas de Jesús en Filipinas, de las hijas de Jesús en tu provincia, porque la verdad es que hacéis una labor importantísima. Así que yo te quiero dar las gracias y le quiero dar las gracias también a toda la gente que nos ha seguido, como todos los meses que ha estado aquí apoyando. Así que nada, muchísimas gracias a todos. No sé si quieres despedirte, tú también.
Yes, thank you also. And I'm so happy with this coming December 8th. It's 150 years of a beautiful religious family. The beautiful thing I like about us is we embrace all that come our way. the families of the hijas de Jesus also become part of our families. And it's something that grows and expands and envelops everyone. The charism is very alive. So, Cristina, thank you very much for this opportunity. I also love the way we communicated. You in Spanish, me in English, but we just understand each other perfectly. So, thank you very much.
Salamat, Cathy.
Salamat din sa'yo.